You were too live.
You were live. Sasa mambo ya kufunika nini? Kama direct tuju. I think
Kengay kutoi kanirmi kan
my full names are Kosgei Samuel, from Nandi North, from Nandi County in the Rift Valley. I've appeared here to reaffirm to the world that this ICC saga should come to an end. I've said so because I'm one of the participants in this issue, because I incorporated myself in a way or another as a witness of the ICC OTP number 8, and the VW number is 15. I'm also raising this issue as a petition to the ICC Chamber 5, Trial Chamber 5. The reason why I've done that is that all this issue is kind of drama. I call it a drama because everything was cooked. The statement, the first statement that I gave to the Waki Commission is far different from the statement that I have right now. What I have right now is around 3,000 pages, which I have no knowledge. I would like to say that I was moved from Kenya to Arusha in the year 2010. I stayed there for some time with the OTP people as they were doing their interviews. Upon finishing those interviews, I was flown to the Netherlands, where now all these statements was overhauled. When I say it was overhauled, we were put in one hall plus other witnesses, and then we were coached on two aspects. Number one, the statements, the first statements that I had given to the Waki Commission were inserted foreign things. For example, to me, I was given every. Let me just give it this way: that amongst all those people that were put in one hall, specifically the witnesses, everybody was given his role. In other words, the main issue of the main issue of the coaching by the ICC officials, and I can name some of them, because we went from hotel to hotel, from hotel to hotel, in several locations, which I cannot mention all of them because it covers a span of, I would say, years. My role as somebody who was competent in that hall that day was that I cover certain dates, and specifically I can give a crucial date of which this case was confirmed, and that is 14th December 2007, where Honorable Ruto is being alleged that he was the one issuing instructions, giving guns, giving gas cylinders, which these people, the OTP, alleged that those cylinders were used to demolish the Kiambaa Church, the Kenya Assembly's church, which I've got no knowledge. Number two, Ruto's home is out of bounds of my mind. In fact, I know the place, but I do not know the exact. I do not know the way the homestead is. For example, I can give some maps here which I was issued to show. Yes, I was given these maps. This one is a sketch which was written by myself. I was the one sketching. But in this sketch, it shows the sitting room, the bedroom, the fridges, where everything, the nature of the house and everything. Something that I have no knowledge. How did this map come into my possession, or this sketch come into my possession? Simple. Maps were just produced in a wall like that, and then I was instructed to draw the way it is, and then I give an audio speech, or an audio talk over this map to explain, because I'm a Kalenjin. And in which case, I would have as well convinced the judges, because I belong to that community, I know the place, but that's it. So this is the map. I do not know if it looks like this. I don't know, because I haven't appeared in that compound. And for your information, Honorable Ruto, I met him last in 1998 when he was, or if not 1998, it is 1999, something like that, in a burial ceremony which was near to my place. And by then he was an assistant minister of internal security. I didn't shake his hand, he doesn't know me, and I do not have anything to do with him. This is just but one of the examples. There are so many allegations. There are the maps which I was given, like the one for Eldoret Club. Me, I'm not an architect, or neither am I an engineer or something of that sort, which I can draw maps. But these were just sketches that I was given. And these sketches were just inscripted in their maps, and then I was just authorized to read these things on the audio, at the same time to sketch, and then I give them the way they are. There is another one, like the one that there was a meeting on 7/7/2007. All these meetings that I'm talking about were organizational meetings in which people are, the main issue of the planning is to invite other people. And when I say other people, by then it's the Kikuyus. There is one thing that I would like to say, or I would like to specify. Yes, this violence happened, but for sure, none of the plannings existed. Nobody planned the way it is being alleged. But I was given for me to read all these things. I've got other maps, like the ones for Molo Milk Plant, where all thing was taking place. That one I was also given for me to submit as my evidence. It is shocking, but there is a lot of truth in it, because like Molo Milk Plant, I do not know, I know Molo, but I do not know the location. Like now the Kapkatet grounds, I do not know, but I have the sketches here. Milimani, AIC, I do not know. So those are some of the things that I would like to highlight.
Just to give me those maps, and especially when you're talking just the prosecution or ICC.
Yes. There are many officials. Number one is Cynthia Thai, who was the trial attorney for case 1. Number 2 was Alex. Number 3 was Karen Corey. I do not know the way these people obtain these maps up to date. I do not know. Neither do I know how do these people obtain these statements, which I was given, which amounts to 3,000 pages. Because in this case, the OTP placed me as a star witness in case 1. Another thing is that to prove that there was coaching. Yes. Here I've got pictures of witnesses. Like the one on the top is the one that I'm with Simon. And when you see beneath are people which I cannot mention because maybe I'm not allowed by the International Criminal Court to mention the names, but it is just seen. All these witnesses were, this meeting or this coaching was done at an hotel known as Holiday Inn in Leiden. And I have the diary here to prove that this diary I bought in the Netherlands. If you see the languages, it is far different from in fact, the way the calendar has been written it's not the normal, it is just, this one is a Dutch word to prove that this diary doesn't belong to this country. So that somebody doesn't doubt what I'm saying. Straight away, I'm going on to July. To July, yes. Here, it is on June, Monday, 6th. When you go through this, this is where now the OTP started their interviews. And the first interview was conducted by Alex and Emma at Holiday Inn Leiden. This one was the day. This was one of the coaching, in which I was with Simon, and you have seen the pictures here, and these are the guys that I cannot mention. These two other witnesses. Maybe I can use their. Maybe I can. Okay. Another day that coaching took place. Yes, we had another coaching in July, and I will say the purpose after all this. Another coaching was done on Wednesday, 27th July, at an hotel known as Van de Wijk Hotel near Schiphol Airport. All this coaching, the purpose of all these coachings was to corroborate what was initially overhauled. When I say what was initially overhauled, I mean after all the statements of all the witnesses have been overhauled. So they were trying to corroborate my statement and his statement and statements of other witnesses, so that prior to confirmation hearing, which was done on September 2011, to make it clear, the main agenda of the OTP, or the prosecution, in this year was to confirm this case, so that at the end they can subject it to trial. And that they told us before, that this case, we must at all costs confirm this case, number one. We must talk to the judges at our best level to make sure, using your statements, so that after confirmation we can subject this case to trial. That's what they were telling us by then. And indeed they did it. The case was confirmed. The case was confirmed, and now it has been subjected to trial. So generally, I would say all this was just fabrication. Yes, violence ensued in the Rift Valley and other parts of the country, but specifically I'm talking about the Rift Valley, where I come from, the locality, like Nandi and Wasingishu, where I come from. But nobody planned this violence. And when I say nobody, I specifically mean Honorable William Ruto, because he is the one. He is the one who is being alleged by the OTP, or the prosecution, that he masterminded this violence. I would say that one is totally wrong, and it is lies. After all that is been done, I myself, through my conscience, decided to protest that I cannot betray somebody's blood, neither should somebody get convicted out of lies. So I decided to apply for an asylum. In that country, that's the Netherlands. And here I have an ID to prove. I have an ID here to prove, because this one is the one that you are being issued at the first stages when you apply for an asylum. So this ID card is an asylum waiting identity card. So I was given by the Dutch government, after, after, after this lawyer, Mr. Philip Skula, processing, because this one is an immigration lawyer. All this lawyer was doing this as a pro bono. So this one went through. This is actually what the ICC was issuing as the ID card. When you are in that country and you are a witness, you are given this. Something which doesn't show the name. As you can see here, I am ICC K15-1. This is what I used in the entire period when I was still cooperating with these people each day until I protested. Is when now I got this. Now, after me protesting all this, after me doing all these protests, now I felt a very big wrath. I was forced through the Dutch government I was forced by the OTP people to go by my statement, the very statement that they cooked. Now, when I say no, they started now, they started now, here I have some, let me just go behind, maybe you will, there is something that is very important here. Here is a letter that was written to, response to request for further information concerning asylum application by Kenyan witnesses to prove that I was one of them. These are the other witnesses like K19, K28. I cannot mention their names, but I'm here with K15 as K15. The letter was written to the Ministry of Justice and Immigration. The person who was responding to this letter is an official from the ICC, and his name is Simon Youngman, somebody who was in charge of protection by then. So upon protesting all these things, things went worse. My children were confiscated, and they were taken to what we call childcare, and that my children were taken for 3 months for me to accept. Because if you see here, this one is a report. This one is a report of the Dutch. You know, the way the ICC are doing things is different. It is not the way you think. These people are doing things with high-level secrecy. So they are using the Dutch government to frustrate somebody who is against them, of which I fall as one of the victims. If you see here are the names of my children. They were captured. They were taken on 27, 29. That is after confirmation hearing. Immediately, all these things have been inserted. So I fought with the case for 3 months, and then when I was given back the children, now it was now my turn to think my next move. So I had to talk to the registry and the OTP in a meeting. There are so many meetings. I don't know if I can mention all of them, but just I will be brief. There is maybe the last meeting or something like that. This one is 2012. Yes, correct. Dan Patrick. So I had to talk to the management of the registry. For them, I had to sway them to tell them, okay, I cannot go further with this mistreatment. Why can't you allow me? Why can't you relocate me to any of the East African countries? And then they said, maybe we will take you to Botswana. Then I said no, because everything was voluntary. I had to say no. Unless I stay here, but I cannot do the case since it is voluntary. You cannot compel me to witness against any of the accused as per their own statute. But all these people, all the OTP people, were defying this. They were defying this. They were defying all the rules and the procedures of the evidence and the ones for the Rome Statute. Now the meetings of, like now the meeting of 14th of December is the one that was inserted into the initial statement of the Waki Commission. That one I do not know, and for sure I do not know. In fact, I do not know Mr. Ruto's compound. I haven't appeared, I haven't stepped into, but I've just passed because there is a road that passes like that. So there are so many things like the meeting that was that is being alleged that it was conducted at Milimani IC Church. That one, in fact, I do not belong to that denomination, and I know it is in Nairobi, but I haven't stepped into that church. That's number one. I've said the one for the 14th, that one is clear. Then there is this one of 7/7/2007. That one I don't know. There is another one that they allege that there was a meeting in 2006 at Ruto's home when they were talking about Kas FM and something like that. I do not know. In fact, the people of the Kas are the ones that I haven't met, because why I say so is that these people by then belong to ODM, and I belong to the PNU party by then. So there was no way we could communicate or we could talk or something like that. Another meeting is the one that outings were taken, where dogs were being slaughtered at Molo milk plant. That one I was given by the OTP for me to give. That those ones were being used to oath to give to those warriors or something like that. I do not know the place. When I go to that place right now, nobody knows me, and I don't know the place. Another crucial meeting is the one that they are talking that I know about Kiambaa Church. Me, I do not know the place. I haven't appeared there. I know it is in Eldoret, but I do not know the place. That one is another. Those were the things that were inserted in terms of coaching. You put it clearly. In terms of coaching, you are being coached to say that. In other words, during the trials, if I would have appeared, it was my duty, or it is my duty, to convince the judges of trial chamber 5 that this thing real did happen. There are so many meetings that I was given. I don't even remember others, because they have all the statements right now. They have them. What is the point of me having something that I do not know? When I say, let me just repeat, when I say coaching, it is something that is crucial, because when you see into these pictures, these are other witnesses in that case. And I doubt in this world, I haven't seen where witnesses are being grouped or they stay in one place and then at one stage or at one point they go testify against somebody. This one I think can happen in a Banana Republic, sort of, because this one can never happen. But if you see clearly here, these are witnesses, these and their families, grouped, to prove that coaching was going on, to prove. These are some of the pictures. I have those were taken in Tanzania. All these pictures, that one is very clear. If you see those guys on top, I cannot mention others because the others are still on board, but I know they have problems. But these ones were taken in the Netherlands. If you see them, these are some of the witnesses. Here we were coming from, I can call it a coaching lesson from one of the hotels known as Mercure Hotel in Amsterdam. That one. When you see this guy very clearly, somebody's got a file. What was the purpose of a file when you are a witness? Those ones are still the same witnesses and something like that. In those coaching meetings, the same. And others.
Your take on that after dropping out and you are the potential witness?
It is very clear. I'm ready, even right now, to be summoned at anywhere. But I'm in to say all those evils. I'm in. That is why I have come openly right now. I've come openly right now to demonstrate to the world that this ICC saga should come to an end. I call it should come to an end prematurely. This one is just a fabrication of lies. There is nothing here. There is nothing here. This is something that is being cooked, I don't know by who, but through the OTP, through the prosecution. And then people are being induced. Like me now, I was at Kivi Hotel. That is just very recent. That one is very recent, when I had come into this country, when I had landed into this country. I was put in the Novak Hotel, no, the Novak Towers, where the OTP was paying 12,000 shillings a day for the accommodation. 12,000 shillings a day for the accommodation. Leave alone food and other things. What is that kind of life? What is the purpose of that lifestyle? What is the purpose? I do not see the purpose. And then I had to move away out of that by myself, voluntarily, with nobody's influence, with nobody's whatever. We just talked with our family, we discussed, and then I just moved out of the house without their consent. I just left the house that was paid, I think, for how many months? I don't know. So, there is a date here, which is very, very important, so that you know the way the OTP do things. They are doing things in different ways. Is it on? Yeah. After convincing the OTP and the VW that I want to go back to Africa, they accepted and they brought me to Kenya, and I landed to the same place where I've said the Novak Towers. That was the date. I don't. Landed in this country is 26th November, I think. 26th November, if I'm not wrong. Yes, 26th November or October, something like that. I do not have the. I didn't bring the diary, but the date is indicated. I have the papers, the traveling documents, and everything. I have them. But
and maybe the process of statement taking, how was it done?
When I say coaching, it is not only that your statements or my evidence were being interfered with. No, there were other things that they were talking about in that day. In that, when you see here, they are talking about detecting deception. Because the OTP initially knew that this is total lies, so they had to coach us in a way so that when you appear in court, nobody can detect deception or lie detection index. This was what they were telling us, that don't touch the face, the throat, or something like that, or scratching the nose, or behind the ear. That if you do that, then when the judges see you, then you are a liar. That do not, and body gestures, facial expressions, so many things. And then they were giving us the website, like www.learnco.com. These were the sites that we had to visit after after the coaching. Another thing that is very important is that the statement analysis, we were also given what we call statement analysis online training. That was, we were just given as an homework. This statement analysis online training is a book by somebody known as Mark Macklish. And these are the things, these are the bad words that you should never say when you appear in courtroom. That words like tried, words like really, don't say really, don't talk, then you insert the word really. Things like recall, that I cannot recall, or I recall, that one, the judges will just dismiss it as lies. Things like all I can say, it was not accepted. These are some of the coachings. Avoid hesitation. Sometimes I believe so. The words, these are the words. That's why I've written here bad words. These were the things. The numbers, liars' numbers, we are total, a lot of, it's a very big, now this one, these people are trying to, they were trying to upgrade what we call credibility, so that what I give to the judges is real. And maybe others were also capable, and others. So these are some of that. If you use the word I do not know, that one is very powerful to the judges. When you are being asked a question, this was, I would just say in brief, this was, we were being coached this so that when you are being cross-examined, these are the things you should keep in mind. These are the things. Don't ramble or think out loud, something like that. A witness can use to convince defense. These are the ways. Getting involved as a witness to a crime. For example, for me to say I burned somebody's house, or I was there when things were being disputed, for example, guns, then I was the one, in fact, who moved, maybe, or who handled one of them. You see now? These were the things that the OTP were dwelt a lot. Obviously, I was still their witness. Upon me reaching this country, they used to call me several times. I would say in 2 days interval or hourly interval, depending on the situation, when I was still in Nairobi. At some point, after me swearing an affidavit, which is, I think it is dated 7th, because after me saying I do not want all these things, just by myself, I sought a lawyer, a prominent lawyer, which I knew, because why I say I knew him before is that where I come from, he used to stay there in Laboret. In fact, that was his school. So I knew him. And he's prominent in Eldoret because he has been doing a lot of legal work or legal practice to so many farmers in our place because he was there. So this lawyer, I wrote an affidavit, a sworn affidavit, on 7th of February 2013. So upon this affidavit reaching the ICC headquarters, things turned different. People had to travel from the ICC to this country, and then we met on 22nd February at Kivi Hotel. I thought it was normal discussion with these people. Unfortunately, they induced me, and I would specifically mention these two people. We have somebody known as Mr. Paul, who is one of the investigators of the ICC, and I have somebody known as Mr. Sylvan, which is a lead investigator of the ICC. So they approached me. I was with my wife. We went to the Kivi Hotel. After me swearing an affidavit, bear in mind that after me swearing the affidavit that I do not want all these things were lies, blah, blah, all those things, all those kind of stories. Now on this day, before we did everything, they just brought alcohol and some books. And then we continued together, but they were not serious. Then I took these drinks knowing that, okay, maybe we are just talking oral things. But at the height of after getting drunk, they started the interview, which I do not know up to date. The contents of that interview, I do not know if it was recorded. I do not know if I signed anything, because that alcohol was powerful. It is John Walker, Red Label, who bought. And this one can be proved because they can be traced. If we go to Kivi Hotel right now, and these things are there, in fact, plus the hour, they are there. So these are the ways the OTP are using. The following day, because we slept in we slept in Nairobi with my wife, they gave us 50,000 as accommodation expenses. No, that day. The following day, they gave us 373,000 to go. By then, we were still in the Novo Hotel. So basically, that's what they did to me. Now, there is one thing up with some highlights. Number one, all these, that case one, because I'm a star witness, is pure lies. Things that were attributed to Honorable William Ruto and Sang and and Henry Koskei, because he was one of them, are total lies. I would like to say that. And right now, I state categorically that it was pure lies. It was something that was fabricated to suit purposes of other people that I don't know. Number two, just as the way you have conducted this interview, that I've just come out for anybody to see me, that I have come to state all these evils voluntarily, with no influence. Number three, the issue of intimidation. The way the ICC officials have been just running here and there in the media and whatever, I would like to say that one, they are just looking for escape routes. Nobody has intimidated me. Nobody has bribed me. I am at home, and they can come at home. Where I come from. I am at home. Right now, I am at home. So when they talk about intimidation, when they talk about bribery, when they talk about all these kind of things, I do not understand unless all those kind of unless the pack of things means something else. To conclude, I am ready to face International Criminal Court, especially the prosecution side, to face. I am ready to answer anything. If they want to prosecute me, if in case what I have come up with carries any lawsuit, they can go on. I'm ready, at whatever cost. Thank you very much.
What's your name?
Yeah? My name is Koske Samuel.
Just briefly.
Yeah. I'll just be part, because there was the last part that last but not least, I have two things to mention. Honorable Ruto is innocent. I've said so because if the statements if the statements or the evidence that is being based is mine and others whom I know and I cannot mention, then I would say that person is not liable for any, he has got no case to answer, because the OTP now, once they realize that I had sworn the affidavit, promised me two things. They said, we will buy you a flat in South Africa, either in Pretoria or Johannesburg. 2, they will buy me a prime land in Mbezi Beach in Tanzania. Those are the two things that they promised me. Those are the two things they promised me for me to pursue this case. After me swearing all these affidavits, after all these affidavits being sent to the ICC, they just called me and say, okay, why don't you have these offers and then assist us? That's what they did. But I said no, because it was of no use. Already they were giving us a lot of money when I was in the Netherlands. They're inducing money. Here in Kenya, I was being dished free money, unaccounted money. So there was no point for me to accept such kind of things. I just said, let me go in and restructure my life. And that's what I'm doing now, and I'm still on the road restructuring my life. Thank you very much.